Greetings, everyone, and thank you for attending today's Paycheck Protection Program Direct Forgiveness Portal training. My name is Steve White. I am the lead lender relations specialist for the United States Small Business Administration Colorado District Office. Today, we'll be talking about the Direct Forgiveness Portal registration, the application submission process, signing your application, your ability to review and monitor submitted application, and of course resources that you may use in order to ask additional questions or seek further information. So we'll get started. So for the direct forgiveness portal, what SBA has done is we've set up a portal that users can access directly for applying for Paycheck Protection Program, or I'll say PPP a lot during this training. You can apply for forgiveness on your own. Now, there's a couple of caveats here. One is that your lender has had to have chosen to opt in for this particular portal access. Some lenders will be using the exact same portal where you went to apply initially for your PPP loan, and you'll go there for forgiveness. Other users, however, have opted in to allow you to go directly to the SBA website and apply directly there. The second caveat or eligibility is that your PPP loan, regardless of whether it's a first or second draw, is $150,000 or less. So then, this portal is set up for those whose lenders have opted in for this program and their Paycheck Protection Program first or second draw loan is $150,000 or less. If that's you, then you may choose to go to the SBA portal and apply directly. So where you go there is that address right there, the directforgiveness.sba.gov. And as always, you can find this same link if you go to www.sba.gov and follow the prompts. But you can also use this web address as well. This portal, again, as we stated, is for loans that are $150,000 or less. It works best if you're able to use the MS Edge or Google Chrome browser. Those are the recommended browsers for getting the most clean application. And you will need to register on this portal in order to apply for forgiveness. And we'll go through that process now. So the first thing you do is you go to, of course, this website. Once you get there, you'll be asked to register. So you will select register right here, the blue button. You will create a unique username that is unique, of course, to you. And definitely as you go through this process, write down the applicable information and keep that information handy. Whether you do that if you're like me, you'll do a yellow sticky note on the side of your monitor or in your password book or whatever, but make sure you have this information. So you'll start with creating your unique username. Secondly, you're going to use your email address. Now, this email address should be the same email address you used when you applied for the Paycheck Protection loan. So please use that same email. Once this email is entered, it cannot be changed once the registration is created. Then you're going to enter a passwords. Passwords must meet the security criteria. So you're looking at a 12-character password that will require both letters and numbers. You will need upper and lowercase letters. You will need numbers, and you will also need to use special characters. 12 digits for that password. Again, make sure you record or log this password in a separate place as well so that you have that. Once you do that, you'll go through that captcha characters part to make sure that you're not a robot. And then, of course, you'll sign up. Now, once you've done that, you're going to receive in your email address that you provided 2 distinct different emails, and you'll need to address both of them. One email is to verify your email address, and this is how we're going to hopefully combat fraud to make sure that you are indeed you. And then the second one will be to help complete your registration process. Once you have that, you will then be able to return back to the portal to sign in. So your registration will be complete. You'll go back to that same address. You've already registered. So at this point, you'll enter your username. You'll enter your password that you've created, and then you can click the sign in. There is a two-factor authentication process required for this. So all platform users will be issued a second identifying factor, again, to make sure that you are you. Please use a non-VoIP or voice over IP phone carrier for this. A text message will be sent to your phone, and you'll receive a digit that'll look somewhat like this. Certainly this won't be the one you receive, but you'll receive one like that, and that is the text number that you'll be able to put into the system in order to get into your registration that is specific and unique to you. So that's registering for the system, and next is submitting your application. And you'll go back to that same address, you'll log in, and then you'll start the process. And it's simple enough that the process will walk you through it. But for most of us, this process is new. So we're going to look at how this works. And so you'll see this screen right here, and you'll go to the Start the Forgiveness Process button. And also at later times, as you come back to it, or if you choose to come back to this, you'll be able to access this same request if you submit it, and then you have to save and walk away to retrieve more information or what have you. You'll be able to come back and see here. At any time, you'll be able to view and edit your profile here. And you can also see messages that SBA is sending directly to you if corrections are necessary. Also, at any time during the process, in the lower right-hand corner, right here, you'll be able to click the Need Help button if you have questions about information that the application is asking for. And you can also, at the outset, take a guided tour through the system. That is a short video that shows you how to fill out the application. So, starting the application for forgiveness submission. First thing you'll do is you'll select New Forgiveness Request. Then you'll see this screen, and you will enter your EIN, SSN, or ITIN, which would be the exact same number that you submitted for your loan application. You'll put that in. You'll also need to put in your PPP loan amount. If you've forgotten what that is, one of the best ways you can do to find out that information is go to your business bank account where that amount was deposited, and you'll be able to see that amount there. If for some reason, if you're not able to trace down that information, you can click on this link to help you find that information. Once you have your federal ID number in here and your PPP loan amount in here, then you'll click on Find Your Loan. And here's where we start entering information. Now, because this is a direct portal platform and your lender hopefully has chosen to opt in for this system, you're going to see a lot of the information fields pre-populated. So you will see your business legal name, your DBA or trademark if applicable, your business phone number and address, and so forth. And these areas are going to be grayed out, so you will not be able to edit these, but you will want to look at them and make sure they are correct. That would be important. The fields that are not grayed out are going to be the ones that you're going to need to fill out to submit your application for forgiveness. For example, your title and your primary contact name, you'll fill these out. The title has a nice drop-down menu that will help you work through that. You'll also need to insert your NAICS or North American Industrial Classification code here. Once you do that, you'll get down to the next screen. And here you're going to need to hit this drop-down field and select your covered period. That's the period in which you chose or were able to use your PPP funds. That should have been one of three options. You should have spent those funds in either 8 weeks, 24 weeks, or in a period between 8 and 24 weeks. You'll need to submit your gross receipts for 2019 and your gross receipts for 2020. Next screen, you'll enter the number of employees you had at the time of your PPP loan application. And again, that should match the information you submitted during your initial application process. Then you will enter the number of employees you have at the time of application for forgiveness, which is now. Then you will select yes or no on the drop-down menu that's asking if your loan amount is over $2 million or not. You will then enter the amount of PPP that you spent on payroll, and then your forgiveness amount. And for many of us, those are going to be two different numbers, because as you remember, you could use your PPP funds on payroll and also eligible, certain eligible non-payroll costs. So some of us are going to use 100% on payroll. Others are going to use another percentage on that. So those numbers may not be the same, and that's okay. Then you will enter your demographic information here and select next for the next screen. And at this screen, you're going to start providing the documentation that will prove that you spent the funds on eligible payroll and eligible non-payroll expenses. So you're looking for payroll or accounting information that you should have on your computer that you can upload here using these steps: tax information, cost, expenses, all those receipts and proof of expenditure. You will be able to upload those items here, just showing SBA that yes, indeed, you did spend the money and you spent it accordingly on eligible cost. You repeat the process here until you've uploaded all the documentation that you think you need in order to support your case for forgiveness, showing that you did indeed spend the funds appropriately. And then you look at your summary. And this is important because you're going to want to review all the information that you put in for accuracy, because once you do sign this application and submit it, you will not be able to make live edits. And once you review this information and you're happy with it, you've got a couple of options here. One is obviously to submit and continue for your electronic signature, which completes your application. Or at this time, you can also choose to withdraw your request here. If you do that, that will delete your submission and you'll have to start your process all over again. So if you get here and you see something and it's not quite right, or you're not quite sure, or you don't know, you have a question, that's fine. You can always save your request and exit the wizard, or you can go back to the previous screen and make your request or whatever, and that's fine as well. But just I wanted you to be aware that if you do hit the withdraw request, you will have to start the process all over again. Once you hit the submit and continue electronic signature button, you may receive this red bar here. It just shows missing items, and it will tell you what items are missing and that you need to fix those items in order to continue. Once those items are fixed, or documents are uploaded, or whatever this issue may be, then you will be able to hit submit and continue. And then we move to the application signing process. So on the signing screen, you will click here saying that you agree to use electronic signatures, and you'll hit continue. And once you do that, you'll see this page pop up here. This page is a facsimile of the 3508S, which is the form you are, by de facto, filling out as you go through the application process. And so you'll actually be able to see the form that you would be filling out if we were to use a paper form to file for forgiveness of your PPP loan. So you'll start the process. You'll initial where it asks you to verify those statements. You may see, depending upon your computer access and software permissions, you may see a pop-up which will allow preloaded or uploaded electronic signatures that you already have, and that's fine as well. And then you're going to sign here, and you're going to finish your electronic signature. Now, If after reviewing your application and prior to finishing, if corrections are necessary, you can decline to sign. And this would be, for example, if you are looking at information and you're not certain that it's correct, or perhaps you've had a change of ownership, or just maybe some information in the grayed out fields that were pre-populated on your screen you didn't agree with. And that's fine too, because then you can just put your reason for declining and go from there. If that happens, it may be that you'll have to go to your lender PPP forgiveness portal and apply for forgiveness there. And what will happen is, if you hit that decline button here, there's going to be a period that should not exceed 5 minutes, and then applicants can return to our request or exit wizard to again regain access to your application and make the necessary edits here. Now, once you've gone through that process and you have submitted and you signed and you hit OK and your application is submitted to SBA, you're going to be able to review this tree on the screen as you go through, and it's going to show you the process that your application is walking through. So you can go back and log in from time to time just to see where you're at in the system. Once you complete this process, your lender will be notified that you have submitted an application for forgiveness. Your lender will also make a decision. They'll agree or disagree or agree with modification to your application for forgiveness and notify the SBA. Then you will receive an email notifying you of the correction status if that's needed. You can always see that on the summary page as well. If you do have to make a correction because there's been either a mistake or an editing error or just incorrect reporting, you will have to withdraw your application and resubmit. Once the application is submitted by the borrower and then has been agreed upon by the lender, it moves to SBA decision, and a letter facsimile like this will be available in the portal for applicants, so you can see that SBA is considering your request. And at that point, it's up to SBA to make the final determination to issue that forgiveness application request and to notify the lender that it has been accepted or not accepted. And then, of course, the lender will notify you of same. Now, some frequently asked questions. How do you get to the portal? Again, you can either go to www.sba.gov and follow the prompts to get to that site, or you can type in this link exactly here. If you have questions as you go through the process, you can always call the SBA PPP Direct Forgiveness Hotline, 877-552-2692. The folks there should be able to answer generic questions about the platform and the forgiveness process. They will not be able to answer specific questions, nor will they be able to give you timeline estimates for how long, for example, the process is as you're going through. But they should be able to answer questions you have as far as applying and submitting information. Now, another nice fact about this process is we've created a pretty live knowledge base of frequently asked questions, which can be found here. You can also access this same knowledge base again on the SBA website. So go to sba.gov, click on the prompts, go to PPP, and you can see this base here. And that way you can see frequently asked questions that have already been submitted about the forgiveness process. And most of those will answer many of the questions that we have as we go through here. So there's a couple of different resources. And of course, you can always use us at the Colorado District Office if you have specific questions about your application process as well. So you've got options here of going to the hotline, going to the updated and frequently updated knowledge base, or you can call us at the Colorado District Office. But I wanted to take a quick second to thank everyone on the call for choosing to use this Small Business Administration for their financial needs. I want to also send out a special thank you to the Colorado Small Business Development Center Network. What a great team and resource partner for all things SBA, all things entrepreneur, all things commercial business in Colorado. And a special shout out to the Colorado Springs SBDC. Thank you guys so much for your help and assistance and this webinar and all the numerous uncountable other things that you guys have helped us with throughout the years. Thank you for being a great resource for your community and for your state. Steve White for SBA, thank you so much. Take care.